Okay, so I'm CammyG and I'm going to be doing a little update for Save the World video. Not exactly just going through the patch notes or anything, but just talking about some of the recent stuff that's been added to the game. You know, some of the really positive things about the game, because it's in a good state right now, I think. And yeah, I'll just be doing this over some gameplay. Like, I'm recording it as I'm playing, so if I'm taking a while to think of a word, it's just because I'm concentrating on the game. So yeah, there's been a lot of changes. And before I get started, I just want to say this is probably going to be coming out a decent amount of time after these changes actually came into the game, but that's because I've just been super busy. I've got like a backlog of videos coming out. I was ill for a few days as well, so just bear with me on that. But yeah, there's been a bunch of changes, some really good changes that I feel like you know, have been a long time coming, but we've finally got them. So I guess I'll just go through them one by one. So the main change for me is this new trap, the anti-air trap, which is just absolutely god tier. It's you know, something that we've needed in this game for so long, because if you're in high twine, you'll know that when it comes to missions, especially when you do like endurance and you're up to like power level, what, 300 enemies or something, the lobbers and flingers literally make it near impossible, especially the lobbers, because they'll throw their skulls and it'll break builds in one hit, you know, because they're this high power level. They'll actually destroy stuff in one go, and now that we have this trap, we can at least, you know, minimize the amount of damage they can do by stopping them throwing this with this trap. So that's amazing. I'm really glad they put that in. Another thing that kind of joins onto that is, I believe it said in the description of the trap that it's to deal with propanes. So I'm guessing if the propane tankers throw their propane in the, you know, the vicinity of this trap, it will get rid of the propane tank. But something that I noticed along with it, which I haven't read the patch notes in massive detail, so I don't know if they said about it, but the one thing I noticed is that when you kill a propane tanker, even if they're like mid-throw or, you know, the propane's about to set off, if you kill the propane tanker, the propane tank disappears. It no longer drops on the floor and makes this massive pile of hundreds of propane tanks that became a massive issue performance-wise and, you know, struggle-wise in terms of them going to be blowing up in like endurance and stuff. So that is another amazing change that I feel like we probably should have got a while back, or at least they should have made it so that if they do drop on the floor, you know, there's a limit to how many can be in a map at once, like 10 or something, I don't know. But this is even better because they just don't drop anymore when you kill the enemies, or at least from what I've noticed. It might be a bug, I'm not sure, but it is amazing if it is intentional. Let's see what's next. I kind of got a list going here. Oh yeah, with the traps, I guess there's a few changes they made. They have, yeah, they've nerfed the gas traps so that it's not the fact that, you know, you hit the enemy and then even if they leave where the gas trap went off, they'll still get hit 6 times. That's how it used to be, or 5 times, however many times it was. Now the husks have to remain underneath the trap or else the effect won't continue. So, you know, that's a nerf, but I feel like it's a reasonable nerf. The gas traps were very powerful. There was no reason to use any other trap at all because they were that powerful. So at least now it gives, you know, it gives the other ceiling traps a bit more of a you know, a belonging in the game, and you know, it makes them actually viable, which is good. You might see more ceiling electric field traps and zapper traps. You might see more of those now because they're probably going to be as useful, if not more, than the gas trap in some situations now. Along with that, another trap one again is that the floor launch has actually got a change. So the floor launchers got changed so that they will no longer damage husks. Basically, before, if you didn't know, you could launch husks in the air, and if they went high enough, they would lose their health. Most of them would die because of how high they went, and it was a really good, you know, strong way of killing stuff late game, because, you know, your traps aren't doing enough damage to them. So when it came to like Twine Endurance, the main way you'd kill enemies when they got to like power level 300 was to launch them in the air. They'd come down, lose, you know, majority of their health, launch them up again, and they'd die. So basically you only have to hit them with 2 floor launcher traps. But now they have changed that so that I believe no husks at all take damage, as currently I believe. I'm not sure if that was intentional or if it was just supposed to be smashers because of the way they worded the patch notes. But on top of that, I believe smashers don't get launched by floor launchers now either. So not only can you not damage them with, you know, the fall from the height, you can't actually move smashers. Which, I guess, you know, it makes sense because they are big boys. They are, oh lordy, coming size. And, you know, this floor launcher that's made out of wood, realistically, I know it's not a realistic game, but bear with me. Realistically, you know, would not launch them. So, you know, that makes sense. It's going to be an interesting change, and the game's going to be a lot more difficult now, I reckon, when it comes to these high-level challenges like Endurance, Frostnite, all this stuff. But, you know, for the people that were finding them easy, not me, I was still struggling to build, builds for the Endurance. But the people that found it easy, they're going to love that because, you know, now they have a bit more of a challenge. So I think that's all there is for the traps. Quite a few changes there. That might be over more than one patch. I'm not sure. Let's see. Gas traps now take out bee swarms. I forgot about that one. That's another good change for the gas traps. So it did get nerfed, but also it got made better against the bees at the same time. So that kind of cancels each other out. And then changes that they've made that don't relate to traps are, I'm not sure how many of these there are, I don't have many written down here, but when it comes to late game in Twine, people have got some nice quality of life changes, which include ability damage increase up to 75%. I believe that's if you're max level you get 75% increase, and then if you're like say level 80 you'll get 30% increase, something like that. I'm not sure exactly how it works. And also your health and shield are increased, so you know the enemies have been made a bit harder with the floor launcher nerf, but at the same time the heroes have been given a buff, so that's good because obviously, you know, you're gonna be able to survive more now, which is perfect. Definitely something that you like to see. Oh, didn't try to concentrate on this, try to find this hidden door at the same time. So yeah, some nice buffs to basically every player, I would imagine. I feel like even if you're in Stonewood you get a little bit of an increase to health and ability damage, so that's nice. But as far as things go, I think that's all the changes I wanted to talk about. Some nice changes. Definitely let me know in the comments if you think I missed anything out, anything noteworthy, and let me know what you think about these changes. Have you been playing as long as I have and you've been, you know, wanting these for ages, or are you not even at the point where they'll affect you much, say like in Stonewood, and the health buff and ability damage buff doesn't affect you? Let me know. But yeah, thanks for watching this little update video, and I will see you in the next one.